Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday to you, May 5th. Hope you're all having a great day. It's fairly early, but I pray the rest of your day is blessed. Wanted to look real quick at an account in Mark chapter 5, and it's what I call a crossroads of faith, meaning that there are two accounts that kind of overlap one another. And it starts in verse 22 of chapter 5 of Mark. Jesus just shows up, and we're introduced to a man by the name of Jairus, who happens to be a ruler of the synagogue, and that's a whole other story for him to come to Jesus. But the issue is his daughter is dying, is on her deathbed, a little girl, and so as any father would, he's gone to Jesus because he's heard probably what Jesus is capable of doing. And so Jairus asks him, will you come and pray and heal my daughter? And Jesus says, of course I'll do that. So Jesus starts on his way, but there's an interruption. A lady who for 12 years has been battling with some type of physical infirmity that caused her to have a flow of blood, which if you look back in the Levitical law, would have made her unclean for 12 years. So for 12 years, she would have not been able to go to worship, to offer sacrifices, to go to the temple, any of that. She would have been left out of that. And it says that she comes up, and her faith is based on if she just touches the hem of Jesus's garment, which of course she does as Jesus is heading to this somewhat emergency to heal this little girl. She's on her deathbed. And of course, Jesus stops and goes, who touched me? And of course, the disciples are like, what are you talking about? There's tons of people all around you. Everybody's touching you. He says, no, there is something different about this. It was a point of faith that this lady touched Jesus. And he actually says he felt the power flow out of him into her, which is just amazing thought. And of course, she's healed and made whole. The whole time this is going on, I'm putting myself as a father in the position of Jairus, going, hey, we need to get going. I'm sorry about what's going on with this lady, but I really need you, Jesus, to keep coming here, because I need you to do a miracle for my daughter. And of course, about the time that Jesus is kind of having this dialogue with this unnamed lady that's just been healed by touching the hem of his garment, word comes from Jairus' house that his daughter is dead, and for him not to bother the teacher, the rabbi, anymore. I've thought a lot about that statement there. What as a father, the emotions that I would feel in that moment, and just the grief, again, just the degree of emotion that would happen. And Jesus makes this statement, though. Jesus, it says, after the words are spoken about his daughter, verse 36 of Mark chapter 5, it says this: as soon as Jesus heard the word that was spoken, he said to the ruler of the synagogue, do not be afraid, only believe. And if I can encourage us today is, no matter what degree of miracle that we need, or just where we find ourselves in uncertainty, can I encourage you today at this kind of crossroads of faith between this lady who, after suffering for 12 years, was delivered, and this father who Jesus will go, and maybe Jairus thought that death was outside of Jesus's ability to heal, but it wasn't. And nothing is outside of Jesus's ability to do the miraculous in our lives. So be encouraged with that today. Just trust in the Lord, and don't be afraid. Just believe.